Good afternoon and welcome to Growth Talk. I'm Duvalier Malone. I have Kobe Williams running for the 2nd Congressional District with me today. Kobe, how are you doing?
I'm wonderful on this blessed morning. Glad to be here to parade JSU alumni and looking forward to some great things here coming ahead.
So, Kobe, why did you decide to run for the 2nd Congressional District Congress?
Well, over the past few years and looking at the district, we have been depleted of businesses and resources that are needed to service our community. And I did study and look at the statistics and say there's time for a new leader to step up to the plate to make sure that we bring our district to the 21st century because we're 15 years behind. That's why I decided to run, because I have the leadership ability and the educational background and everything to move us forward in the 21st century.
So, Kobe, tell us about your educational background and your experience that qualifies you for this job.
Well, as I stated, I am a graduate of Jackson State University. I'm an alumni of Howard University, as well as GW, George Washington University in Washington, D.C. And I also have biblical studies and biblical certifications from the Institute from Biblical Studies from Greater Mount Calvary Holy Churches of America in Washington, D.C. So with that being said, I have 13 years of experience within the federal government, and I am a urban planner by trade, 5 years within the Washington, D.C. area.
Tell us more about your urban planning in D.C. What did you do there? What is one of your biggest there in D.C.?
Well, we managed $1 million contracts over the areas. We actually made neighborhoods more vibrant. We brought economic development to certain distressed neighborhoods. And we turned neighborhoods that were totally depleted of violence and everything, we turned those areas around by bringing economic development and business and corporations with the community.
And Kobe, I got a question. With poverty being one of the biggest issues for the Mississippi Delta, what is your plan to decrease the poverty level there in the Mississippi Delta?
Well, one of the reasons it is the way it is because of the leadership that is there. My plan is to bring the resources directly to the problem and have town hall meetings so that we can get together with experts and also with those individuals who would look forward to helping me with reducing the poverty rate. Another thing that we're lacking is a food bank. We only have one food bank here in Jackson, so we need to create another environment or another resource to get that food, that healthier foods, to the northern part of our district. And that's how you reduce poverty. There's such a high double digits in our district.
What are you going to do as it relates to the unemployment rate throughout your district? How are you going to bring jobs? I know I had you on the show a few weeks ago, and tell us more about what you're going to do to be able to bring jobs to those people in the 2nd Congressional District that are unemployed.
Well, great. That's a great question, and I'm looking forward to creating more entrepreneurship. Secondly, I'm looking to bring legislation to the table so we can deal with our educational system. Because corporations, as a congressman, it's our job to bring those corporations here. And one thing they look at is the education in those areas. So once we look at the education and then look at creating entrepreneurship and working with small businesses to give them tax incentives to create jobs, that in itself creates jobs in itself. And we're going to work with universities and institutions so we can get the tools into the hands of the people who need the skills in order to get jobs. So it's all about working together with all municipalities to create a tax base without raising taxes to make sure that we create jobs in a vibrant community.
Kobe, with student enrollment being down on this year, what are your plans to help the universities throughout the state of Mississippi to bring more students into those institutions?
Well, we got to create, it's all about community development. People want to come to an area that's booming, vibrant, and they like things that get their attention. We don't have enough of that. When you drive around Mississippi, all we see is trees and depleted houses and old slaves, things that remind us of the 20th century and the 19th century. Once we start with our community, building vibrant communities, and working with our universities to create economic development in the surrounding areas, students will have something tangible to look at and say, I love being here. Morale is boosted, and people start, bringing and inviting people and their families here to move here and say these are great towns to live in. We like MSU, they got a great community up there. Oh, Benton have a great community. We want Jackson State and our HBCUs with like Mississippi Valley to create vibrant areas for these students to really have a productive life while they're here. And I plan on working with those universities and all municipalities to do that. just that. And another thing we want to look at too is once we bring those corporations here, we do have an employable workforce. It's all about job creation. And those people need to know that we have an employable workforce. It's not fair for our students who graduate from these universities, 86% of them have to move out of our state. And then they go to Memphis and all the up part of the northerns to get jobs. We want to keep that brain power here. And that's what I'm about. Working with the young leaders and the leaders that are looking to move Mississippi forward with that area and that whole economic development thing. We're going to move forward together, and that's what I'm all about.
So, Kobe, when you're saying that you're going to work with the university, you're going to get their ideas, does that go back to your town hall forums?
Yes.
That kind of thing?
Yes.
You're going to have board forums. You're going to actually get those people opinions so that you can craft your legislation there in Congress. Is that what you're saying?
Policy starts with the people first. Once you talk to the people, that's how legislation is crafted, because you got to put the people first. Once you understand the needs of any community, that's when community development starts, and that's when better quality of life begins.
On your campaign trail throughout the 2nd Congressional District, what has the people been saying? What are the needs? What are they complaining about out there?
Well, when you look at the municipalities, when you're dealing with government officials, me understanding this for 13 plus years, people are in dire need of amenities. When I say amenities, I mean things like an ambulance, per se, to get to and from the hospital. People are dying because of lack of that. People want a safer community because we know violence is the main thing that moves communities away. They need police chiefs in certain areas, and more so, they need police cars. Things that that most towns don't have. They're depleted in those areas. So, and more hospitals. When I say more hospitals, there's lack of hospitals that people get to and from. They have to travel miles to get to the central part of Jackson, and that's not fair to our people. When you're talking about things of that nature, you got to look out for our senior citizens who are dying with lack of amenities, lack of tangible goods to get there to these hospitals. That's a problem in our community, and people are in a dire need. And more importantly, they want jobs. It's time to put our people back to work again, and they need the industries and the skills to do just that. And they're crying need. And when you go in these small towns up and down 49, the towns are gone. They're boarded up. Majority of them are. And they want jobs. They want economic development. And the key thing to that is recreation as well. They want recreation. They want things to do. And I want to bring it to them. I want to bring the word here with our Mississippi blueprint as well as Kobe Williams blueprint.
Kobe, I thank you for coming on today. Growth Talk, we're going to try and get the congressmen together. We're going to do a debate.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm going to try and contact his office again, and we'll try and do a debate so that we can get both sides of the spectrum. Okay? And I thank you for coming on. I look forward to speaking to you in the near future, okay?
Yeah. All right. Thank you, and it's a blessing to meet you, sir. You keep up the good work that you're doing. We need more brothers like you in entrepreneurship and creating business and talking about Growth Talk. Because we don't have any growth in the 2nd Congressional District. If you want a better quality of life, you make sure you vote for Kobe Mundell Williams on November the 6th so that we can have education, job creation, and a better healthcare system. If you don't want that, then you vote the same way. We're going to continue to move backwards. You want to move forward, vote Kobe Williams. God bless you and have a good day.
Oh, God, clap that.
That's good. So I'm going to